So yeah, it's running for a minute because I'm kind of trying to let any people who want to view this live get notified and come in and get a chance to see it. So I'm just sitting here for a minute while I let that build up. So I know I said I was going to do this earlier today regarding the audit committee meeting last night, and I didn't get to do it earlier, so I'm doing it now. So anyway, I don't think very many people are actually out there right now because it is church time, which is where I am. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for my daughter to finish her Wednesday afternoon or evening church services. So here we are. The audit committee meeting last night for Benton County, Tennessee. Anyone who knew what was going on with the audit committee knew that what happened last night was predestined. There was no surprise in what happened last night as far as voting and who the new audit committee chair is. I've been on the audit committee for 2 years now. 2 years. And I've enjoyed it. I've learned so much. And what I've learned and taken most from it is that the audit committee is there for the people. It's there to protect your interests in our county's government. It's there to make your elected officials accountable for what they do and for what they should be doing and for what they're not doing. The audit committee is the people's watchdog group. We don't sit there and we don't go after people and we're not looking for trouble, but we're there to help make sure trouble doesn't happen. That is what the audit committee is for. You know, the whole reason the audit committee was formed was because Benton County was consistently, audit after audit after audit, having findings of material weakness. Material weakness is a big thing. We're talking missing money. We're talking things not being done properly. Significant issues that the comptroller was finding in Benton County. Back over a decade now, we've been having these issues. So in 2009, an audit committee was formed. 2009? Yes, I think that's right. 3 members, and somewhere along the way, they just didn't really do anything. They disappeared, and we still had more and more material findings of weakness. So they came back and said, audit committee, they are there to make sure this doesn't happen. Do it. So I stood and decided I wanted to get involved. And I asked the commission to consider me to be appointed to the new audit committee. And they did. They chose me. And I was grateful for that opportunity. Now, when I say they chose me, I want to clarify something. This is very important. All of the committees of the county, well, the standing committees and boards, the mayor appoints, the commission confirms. However, that is not the case with the audit committee. Audit committees formed under Title IX of the Tennessee Code which is basically the auditor says, you need to have one, you're going to have one, put it together. They are appointed by the legislative body. The audit committee reports to the legislative body, which is your commission. So that's who we, the audit committee, report to. We don't report to the mayor. The mayor doesn't tell us what to do. The mayor doesn't tell us what we can and can't investigate. It is the legislative body who appoints us to our positions. So, remember that for future reference. It's very important. Now, Paul Summers last night, he referred to the Audit Committee Act of 2005 and used that as a basis for why this audit committee is here and what we fall under. He's wrong. That is not, in fact, what our audit committee falls under. Our audit committee falls under Title IX, which is part of the I just had it here. Where did it go? There it is. The Local Government Modernization Act of 2005. So yes, while still 2005, it's not the Audit Committee Act. That's under Title IV. Now, the fact that both of these acts, both of these things really focus on audit committees should tell you something. It means the state of Tennessee is saying there needs to be accountability here. Not just at our state level, but at these local levels. This is important. This is very important. These people that you're voting in to make these decisions for you shouldn't be just doing this without any oversight. Do you understand the amount of money we get from grants? The restrictions that come with some of those? We have things that we have to do, requirements we have to make and meet to keep that money, to not have to have that money called in, to make sure things are done properly. There's this whole laundry list of stuff we have to do. And there's nobody saying, hey, are you doing this? Did you follow up on this? Hey, are you making sure this is getting done? Nobody. I want to read you something from the Tennessee Comptroller regarding the formation of an audit committee, forcibly, a statutory committee. Statutory means you were told you have to have this committee, so you're going to have this committee. That's just my own special translation. So they have this sample resolution out there, which ours is loosely based on. There's several things in this that ours doesn't have, but in general, I want to point out a couple of things here. That all county governments establish an audit committee as a best practice and to assist the county commission in the oversight of the public funds and financial reporting processes. So the audit committee is a best practice, and our job is to assist. Now, what Paul Summers said last night is that the audit committee is not an investigative committee. It is a reporting committee. Let me come back to that. So here they're saying were to assist the county. Okay, well, let's go down to the next section. The comptroller's office, who put this resolution, this sample resolution together as the best resolution to use to form an audit committee, says, whereas the blank county commission realizes the need, especially in today's current environment of fewer available resources, for increased transparency and accountability of public funds, and that the county commission is ultimately responsible for ensuring that the management is meeting its internal and financial reporting responsibilities. Okay, people. Did you hear that? Let's go over it again. Increased transparency. Accountability of public funds. This is your money. This is your taxpayer money. Yours. Public funds. Accountability. And here's this. The county commission is Are you still there? Had a phone call. The county commission is ultimately responsible for ensuring that management is meeting its internal control and financial reporting responsibilities. The county commission is ultimately responsible for ensuring that management, are you getting me here? Management. Who's the management? Who is the executive man? Are you hearing this? The mayor is not the beginning and end all of everything in Benton County. This is why who you vote for as commissioner matters so much. These commissioners, the body, the legislative body of this county as a whole, is ultimately responsible for ensuring that management, that your mayor is meeting its internal control and financial reporting responsibilities. Not just your mayor, elected official. Every single elected official is doing their job. Okay? The commission's job is to make sure they're doing theirs. And the audit committee's job is to help them make sure that that happens. Whew. That's a lot of stuff, huh? So, there's just so much here I want to tell you guys, but there's just not enough time to go over it all. But look, I'm going to go over this real quick. You're right. The audit committee is not an investigative committee. We're not Magnum PI, okay? We're not here to go investigate a crime and to find out who done it. That's not what we do at all. What we do is we investigate. I used the word investigate. Okay, look. I'm going to give you some synonyms real quick, just because I'm feeling, kind of cantankerous. Synonyms for investigate. Fact-finding. Delve, dig into, explore, examine, inquire, probe, research, consider, inspect, study, view. Look, investigating does not mean we're looking to accuse. It doesn't mean we're getting down and dirty. It doesn't mean we're solving problems. It means we're getting information. How are we supposed to do our job if we can't gather information? I mean, how stupid is that to say that we don't investigate anything? Of course we do. Of course we do. How are we supposed to verify if one of the offices is doing what they said they were going to do, that their new internal control practices are working. What are we supposed to do? Look over the counter and try and figure it out just by standing there? No, we ask. God forbid we investigate. Look, Tennessee Comptroller. Here are some points I'm going to make from this guidelines for audit committees. Oh, wow. This is so good. This is so good. Here's the best part of it. Committees should serve as a facilitator of any audits or investigations. They used that bad word. Including advising regarding risks of fraud or weakness in the internal controls, reviewing any findings or matters noted by the auditors, working with management and staff to ensure implementation of recommendations, assisting. Guys, look, the audit committee is your committee. The audit committee is appointed by the people you elected to sit on that commission and take care of your county. It is not controlled by your mayor's office, okay? It is controlled by you and the people you elect. So get out there and vote. Get out there and do something. Don't just sit by and wait and see what happens this election. Don't just vote for that friend who lives down the road. Don't just vote for the person you know. Don't just vote for the incumbent, for heaven's sake. Get out there and vote. Vote for people who care about this county. Vote for people who are out there trying to make a difference. Vote for people who are willing to be held accountable for their actions and for the way they vote and for what they do. Vote. Make a change. Fix this. Okay? Bye, guys.